So how does this course work? Well, the place to start answering that question is the Blackboard site for the course, where much of the materials that we're going to use in the course and much of our communication is going to occur. There, under course information, you'll find the course syllabus. So that's a great place to start. We will be meeting 28 times for an hour and a half each. For each of those class meetings, there will be a detailed agenda, which includes the reading assignment and a description of how the class session is going to work, which will be posted to the Blackboard site also, right? So here under course materials, you'll see there's an assignment for each day, and you go to that and you'll find the agenda and the other materials you'll need for each of those classes, okay? All right, but basically this is the way the class is being laid out, right? So we're meeting 28 times. For each of those class meetings, there's an associated reading assignment. We'll be covering the materials in the casebook, and here's the picture of our casebook. It's Bill Sostrom's BizOrg's Transactional Approach, the second edition. All right, so you should have bought that already, hopefully. In most cases, each day, each class meeting is matched with a particular chapter from the book. We're going to be reading most of the book, getting our way through the beginning of chapter 14. But you can see in some cases we're going to spend more than one day on one chapter because the chapter is particularly long or complicated, sometimes as much as 3 days. For each chapter or set of reading assignments, if a chapter has been divided up, I will provide one or more pre-recorded video lectures. And again, you'll find those by going to the particular assignment on Blackboard, and then there'll be a link, right? So here, this is one of the other video for the first day. Okay. Hopefully it'll load at some point. There you go. Okay. These videos are meant to give you an overview of the materials that are in the reading assignment. Personally, I recommend that you begin your preparation for each class discussion, so for each class meeting, by watching the assigned lecture videos. So I would begin by watching the video. Second, then, once you've done the video assignments, you should then do the assigned reading. Now, I would suggest that even in those cases where a particular reading assignment is going to be covered over multiple days, that you try to do the full reading assignment before the first class discussion. That'll make that discussion more meaningful. That may mean that for some of those reading assignments, which are covered over multiple class sessions, you'll have a much heavier front-end loaded reading assignment because you'll have to do all the reading for the first session. But on average, however, you'll be reading about 25 pages per class session, which is the typical law school reading load. At the beginning of each of our first class sessions, all right, beginning of each of one of these, there'll be a quiz. The quiz will be scored, but the results will not be used to determine your final grade. So rather, we'll be using these quizzes to assess your understanding of the lecture videos and the reading assignments, and to determine where to best focus the class discussion, right? So we'll look at how people do on the quiz and see where it is the gaps are so we can focus on those. As you see here, 4 times during the semester, so on 4 days, instead of a quiz, we're going to be having a test, right? And these tests will be used to determine actually your final grade. They will count. There's no final exam in the class. Rather, your final grade will be based on how you do in these tests, as is described in more detail in the syllabus. And also, we'll be discussing the tests more as we approach the first test date. In this class, you are strongly encouraged to ask questions. Indeed, the whole design of the class, as I discuss up here under this, the methods of teaching discussion, is to ask you to do the basic learning, acquire the basic information by watching the videos and doing the reading, and focusing our class time on any questions you have, any areas where you find it difficult to understand the material, and to put into practice the things you've learned by doing some more practical exercises. Okay. I ask that, one, you certainly bring your questions to class. That's the first place where we ought to be dealing with them. But if you have questions outside of class, please use the discussion board that you'll find on the Blackboard site. It is very likely that if you have a question, someone else in the class has the same question, if not most people. And so if you post them there, I can answer them there, and their answers will be there for the benefit of everyone. All right. So that's the basic idea, and I look forward to seeing you on day one.